Hey guys, welcome back to Post Family Pilgrimage. On this episode, I want to do something a little bit different than anything we've ever really done before. And so that is to kind of take you back in time 3 months to the install of the Bluetti DC to DC-1 charger and the Bluetti Elite V200 battery. And so the solar generator. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this, but I also would just kind of want to be honest and transparent that this is a little different. So we want to walk you through the install and kind of taking all the things out of the truck, putting that the alternator in there, all of the things. I want you to be able to see that, experience that, but also just kind of a couple of things I wanted to mention. At the end of the video, at the very end, I bring you back to yesterday where I just kind of fired up the truck so that you could see two things really: how we've adjusted the setup of the truck, because now we have like the deck drawer system and stuff like that in there. Also keep it full for camping all the time. But really how this thing has just been incredible. This kind of combo setup for us with the Tundra. We absolutely love it. Again, now it's been all set up like this for 3 months. The battery at worst has gotten down to like 70% this past weekend. We were camping Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and at the end of that, it was at 76%. 15, 20 miles down the road, it's all charged right back up to 100%. So we absolutely love the power of this DC-DC Charger 1 by Bluetti, and the battery and the ICO 55. So we're going to bring you all that in this episode. Just kind of wanted to give you a heads up as to what all of this is going to look like. As you may see at the beginning and go, man, this is kind of a different style. Feel free to fast forward, check out the different parts if you want. So appreciate you guys watching this. So anyways, that's all. Just wanted to kind of give you a heads up on the video, kind of why now we're flashing back 3 months prior to. So here we go. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you. And what we got is a box within a box. This is more so how it works. Okay. Top here, we got the power pack and booklet. And here we go. Oh, two handles. All right, there it is. That's awesome. Okay, look at all those ports. Power this on here. It's at 32%, so we can start getting this charged, and we'll go from there. Okay, so inside our box here we have our power charger cord here, and then our adapters for solar and just our regular hookups here. So we get that set up, and we'll get this charging even more. It's at 32%, so we'll get it topped off. So I have this plugged up right here in the kitchen. Look at that. AC input, that's some serious input. 1,425 watts coming in on eco mode, saying it's only going to take it an hour and 10 minutes to fully charge. That is impressive. This is the Bluetti Elite 200. All right, it's been seconds. I feel like maybe a minute. It's already at 35, so it was at 33 just a minute ago. Yeah, 35. That's crazy. But 36, it's getting it done. And we also picked this up right here, the Charger 1 from Bluetti. So this will go in the truck. We'll get this all wired up. That way it's charging this 36. It's charging this thing up as we are driving and keeping this topped off, which will then keep our fridge topped off as well. Okay guys, one of the cool things here is you set up the Wi-Fi right here, hit next, there it is. I'm gonna save it just as that, done, start. There we go. So now check that out. I can see I'm already at 44%. Heck yeah, that's awesome. Without even lighting up the screen or anything of that nature, you just have the green dot there, but you can click it to see 44. Cranking in those 1,443 watts. Yeah, that's too cool. Love it. Estimated charge time 50 minutes. That is so cool, y'all. That's impressive. Okay, so in order to give myself a little bit of airflow, it is August 2nd on a very sunny day here in Arkansas. So I went ahead and set up the awning. I opened up the tent fully. Let's see over here so you can see it all with the windows rolled up. So I did that so that you could ultimately, I could get a breeze. And now I'm gonna move all this stuff out of the way so that we can get down to the basics of the truck and I can see where I need to run the wires through. But before we can do that, we need to move all of this stuff out of the way so we can get down to where we're gonna install all of the cables and everything like that and go from there. To why I love a full-size Tundra so much, because I can keep all this junk in here. Okay guys, so this is the Bluetti DC-DC Charger 1. This is the box that it comes in. I've already opened this box for myself, but Bluetti Charger 1, 560 watt for road trips and RVing. So I got it right here in front of you. I'm just gonna open this up so you can kind of see the idea there. Paperwork here. Normally this part would be on the bottom, but when I repackaged it in here. Okay, there's our screws, things of that nature. And then here is, oh, it's heavy. Here's our cables, our cable system. This goes to the unit itself, those wires. And then this right here is our control switch, off, on. Off is the red right there, on is gonna be the green. And all of that cable ready to roll. So I'm gonna set this aside here. And then in here is the unit itself. All right, there we go. So it'll mount like this. There's several different ways you can mount this. With the 4 holes here. I'm probably going to zip tie this up like this using the rail system right there in the back of the Tundra, and then so that I can just closely run those wires down and below and then up into I'll bypass my cab and go directly to the battery up underneath the truck, the way I'm going to do it. So that's it. This right here is the beast. Inside this little kit is a hex key, and inside that hex key you open this right here and then you thread lock those to tighten them or to loosen them on your black and your red, and then same with that side over there. All right, so I'm going to begin with the wires and the cables, and I'll take you along with me. All right, so I've set these pieces out so that you can see them. There's your rolled cord. there's your screws and your wrench. Here's your cable adapter. This is gonna go to the wires that came with your Bluetti. And you'll see that here in just a bit. Here again is the device. And then right in there is where we will run our wires. So then up top there is where I will attach them with the zip ties. Okay, so this is the portion right here that I will want closest to the box itself. And so the rest of this is what will get ran through the hole right there. All right, so a perk for me is that this truck is lifted 7 inches. So it gives me the space to get under here and move stuff around. So this is our cables right here. And don't think that I'm gonna leave them like this when it's all said and done. I'm gonna go over them with the plastic piece just like this. Okay, so I'm gonna run this stuff up high, all the way across everything, transmission and everything like that, so that they go over there, through there, go onto the other side to get those. So I wanted you to see that hole right there, but I need to cut a hole in this to run our wires through first. So I want to be as careful as possible when cutting this hole to not have any sharp edges to cut any of that cable, but also not creating too big of a hole that rodents would find it appealing or anything of that nature. And then I can come back in and cover this up as well. Okay, there we go. So that's working right there. There we go. Now we're all set. I'm gonna come way up here to about right here with this, so that I can run all of that back through the hole. So I can run all of this back through that hole and then connect my cap right there. Quick question, does anyone else have a bolts bucket? Because this is my bolts bucket. So I'm thinking what I can do, if this will, something like this will fit, is I can use the track system and mount it right there. That would be sweet. If I can get it on this side of it too, I can access it from there if I need to. All right, guys, so I tried all the different bolt sizes that I had. Nothing would clear this that would also come into this track system. So what I'm gonna do is down here on this end, there's 2 spots. So I'm gonna ultimately mount it right here by these zip ties. And Bluetti actually says, hey, you can do this if you're ever gonna, loan this to someone as like a temporary, like if someone's gonna borrow this and take it out and use it that way. Like if you're gonna loan this to a friend or something of that nature. Let's see. Leatherman, baby. All right, help me grab that. There we go. Leatherman to the rescue. Now, feed that back up in. Good grief. Why is it being so complicated? Here we go. Let's just go this side. Trying to do it so that you can see, but anyways, there we go. Get a start on that zip tie, and then this one right here, come through right there. Leatherman to the rescue again to grab the teeth. There we go. On that guy. So there's that one. Yeah, no wonder it didn't work right. So I'm an idiot. All right. But so you can see that, oh man, it's actually just not like, oh, just so simple, always, every time. Yeah, sometimes you make mistakes, and that's part of the fun of it. Getting in here and having fun, doing this type of stuff. It is. It's a lot of fun. There we go. That's better. Check that out. Okay, there we go. So the system is in. It's installed right there. I'll obviously clip these off here in just a minute. And then our lines go there, and then on the other side, right here and here. So we're gonna get all this cable ran all the way up under there and up through over the cab. That didn't work. The line's not long enough. So I'm gonna now switch it to this side and see if I can just run it down and straight through and try it from that end. I'm gonna pop this one right here off, which means I'm gonna, again, have to break the seal of that. There we go. That was just a covering of the powder coat from the bed liner. But why in the world did they bed line it with these in here? I have no idea, but hey, at least that guaranteed that they weren't gonna open that way. I gotta get my tool. Okay, that one came out a whole lot cleaner. As you can see, perfect hole there. That hopefully will give me the space that I need to run everything. So, we'll see. I left this one on here. So now I can just rerun all the wire. This is pretty cool. This is the back side of the Rhino line. And so look at that, how it just creates that soft plastic on the other side. That's good to know as to what it looks like on your stuff. So I was able to pop that one back in perfectly, and as well as that one. Okay guys, ran the wire up under, which I have to tighten up and adjust and all the things, up under there, through the firewall, right here to here. So I'm bypassing the truck internals itself, and then I'll come back and overlap this with the cord covering. So I'm going to start removing my battery cables and then get the red on red, black on black, vice versa. Hey guys, so now we have power. We have power running up there, but before we do anything, I am leaving this in the red right there. All right, so now I'm gonna get this adjusted back up, tighten down right where I want it. About it. Cool. All right, got some of this other stuff hanging up here, my shoes and my hat and stuff. Anyways, get this ready, and then I can tighten those down just like I showed you, but on the other side. Okay guys, so what I'm doing now is loosening this guy up so that right here below it, I know you can't see it because I can't get you down in that corner. There we go. So now I'm just tightening that down. There it is. Got that one in. I'm going to come up here with the black and do the same. I've got to loosen it first. Now I'll run that. Oh, loosen a little bit more. There we go. Tighten that guy down. Sweet. Now, down here, oops, I got the legs on the tripod. Oh, so you can't quite see it. There we go. Here we go. So I've got this in red. I'm not ready to do that yet. Oh, looky there. Cool. So it is programming itself. Awesome. I want to flip this to there. Okay, so green powered it off. I probably should have done that to begin with because I'm not ready. So I don't want to mess this up by any means. All right, so green means off, I guess. Red means that it has no power to it, or it does have power. I don't know. I'm gonna have to double check that. Okay, I had simply watched that wrong. So now I've got this adapter right here that's going to go into this, and same type thing here. I'm gonna have to loosen that as well. So where did my hex key go? You guys are getting like this is the real way of doing things. That's always how I do my videos. Try. All else fails, try again. There's the negative. The negative is loosening well. Okay, there we go on that one. Negative set. Now let's get positive. Loosen that up. Oh, wrong hole. Good grief. There it is. Okay. Now I'm going to reconnect those. The box is there. Sweet. Now I can go get my my Bluetti and run the cable from that to the Bluetti, which I think I'm going to put in this corner right there, and then right here is where my fridge will go. Okay guys, here's my Bluetti. It's the Elite 200. This right here is the power supply, so I'm going to, or the cord, so I'm going to attach this to now my outlet here. Then we'll power this guy on, start up the truck, and see what it does. That's plus to minus, and then PV minus. PV plus. Hey guys, so I did that. Even their video wasn't that clear on, just want to make sure which one's attached to which, and so I've got that done. Now, got this cable right here. Flip that to there. So now we have this plugged in to our power. I'm going to now flip this on, let it talk to this. Right there, so it's going blinking green, and I will, this is at 100, so I'm going to go ahead and I'll just use the remote start on the truck. That's awesome. Okay. Now we are getting the blinking green there, and now it is staying green, and we are getting output here. However, this thing is 100% charged, so I have a feeling that it's not going to show us that it's doing more. So let me run this down a little bit, charge some other devices, and then we'll test it. But we have a green light here, so we are good to go right there. Sweet. All right guys, so while I'm giving it the 5-minute test, the more I look at it and think about it, because I have now this power over here, I think I'm going to move the Bluetti 200 over to the left, as well as the fridge to the left. That way I can just fully utilize this side for power and for everything else. Fridge is set up, the Bluetti is running, and yet pulling 41 watts and consistently 100% battery. So it's going to take this running for a while to even begin to test out the new alternator there over there on the left, which I'm okay with. That is pretty freaking cool. So while it's doing that, I'm gonna finish up zip tying the cords and stuff underneath. So I'm gonna take this right here. It's called the card map. Amazon sent me this to test out, and it worked really well as far as blowing stuff off. So I'm gonna, all that little plastic stuff that I was cutting back there, I'm gonna take this and get all that stuff blown off real quick. So I had to do a software update for that right there. So as you can hear, I've got the truck running, but I am still yet to get this thing below 100. I've got the fridge running on it, and it's now, I've set this right here to 56 volts. So as you can see, 13.3 watts running into it, and yet hardly throwing anything whatsoever off, which is so cool. So it's telling it that it can charge now. Oh, but it's not having anything to go to because I've got it taken off there. So let me hook this up. That's funny. There we go. Now it's not even going to need it, or it probably won't even do it again because it's at 100%. So that is cool. So the software and everything right here is all updated. Come into the Bluetti itself and check that out. Cranking it out there. When it needs power, it'll show it right there. Love it. All right, so I'm gonna clean up these wires, get these zip tied, clean up some of that wiring out the back, and I'm done. Hey, y'all, I thought I had done it, but here it is, upgrade. So I'm gonna upgrade. There we go. It is upgrading it. How cool is that? Upgrade successful. Now, you can come in here. Charger, okay. Again, it's beeping, flashing at me. There we go. Sweet. Shows it right there. But again, not charging anything because it doesn't need to. Look at that, 12.8 voltage on the battery of the truck. So it shows you that that's good to go. Come over here to the fridge, and it's good to go. 14 and 12. Guys, so I finally got everything kind of dialed in. I want to show you around here. So one of the reasons that I was sold on moving the fridge to this side was to provide the power to my lights. And I don't know if you can even see that they're on, but they are. Now they're off. No, that one's off. And so pretty sweet perk with the open road awning is the lights. And then this one right here, when I want to light it up, I just bring this wall down. Okay, so what I did was zip tied the wires here to right there so I can run it just like that, and then it'll close with everything closed up, and I can have that there. But the beauty of that is I have two USBs right here. So I've been charging my phone with this one, all this over here. Kind of to walk you up in here, this right here is where I keep a couple of my extra chairs. Two chairs here, the Yeti goes right here. This is now my power bank area, little hub here. You can see I've got it at 94, but then the new box right there. So this right here is now powering drones, fridge, other smaller Jackery 280 or 300 or whatever. All of my storage boxes here. course, that's the rest of the tent. And that's it. Okay, guys, so I had to get back in the truck, and I was gonna run a couple of errands, and so I had to repower this, but check this out. So right there you can see it's 553 watts. That's pretty incredible. Give it a little gas, see what it does. Yeah, so that's wild. All right, so yeah, I don't know how much of a factor that really plays, but it really reads off the alternator like that. Too cool. Give it gas. So anyways, it's definitely charging it up. Yeah, there comes the boost. That's pretty wild. So all that to say, now you can see I've got all the other features on the Bluetti here, all my other items I should say, and then my fridge plugged in right there. And then this is the wattage now coming in with the engine running. So that's awesome. 529 watts, it's exactly what it's supposed to be doing. So go back over here. Yeah, there it all is. 530 watts just with the engine running. That is incredible. Come over here to the fridge. Oh, excuse me. Icy-Co right there. And yeah, 12 degrees. That one at 21. That's cool. Guys, I've gone 3 miles and I'm now at 94%. So that is pretty incredible, for real. I mean, 94%, it was at 91%, and I've literally driven 3 miles. All right, I'll do some more tests.
2,000 years later.
So since then, obviously we've installed the deck drawer system. We just got back from big camping trip, but I wanted to show you here. Here is the draw. Obviously the fridge is at 33 and 35. The Bluetti is right back there from the current. There's where it lives. It normally doesn't have that much around it. And then there's the DC-DC Charger 1, as you can see flashing. So yeah, this app is absolutely amazing. You can click here and you can see Charger 1 6 days ago. It'll pull it up. It's all the things. We absolutely love this. So I will show you. I'm gonna remote start the truck so that you can kind of see here. And now getting the power. So I'm gonna jump back and I'll show you the fridge will now start throwing out the power to it. There it goes, 56 volts, 340 watts. And there it bounces up, 556 watts. And you see it's charging, you see all the things there. Absolutely incredible. Y'all, this is a game changer. I wanted to kind of do a follow-up as we've now ran this unit for 3 months, sorry. And then with the fridge and everything. So it literally is able to just live back here. And then you'll see it drop. All right, guys, so that's gonna wrap this one up. If you have any questions about the Icy-Co fridge, if you have any questions about the Bluetti 200 or the Bluetti Charger 1, just leave me a message in the comments and I'd be happy to respond to those as quickly as possible. And yeah, if you have any questions about any of this gear, just feel free to holler at me. This has been a long video, so if you've made it this far, thank you so much. Do me a huge favor if you haven't done so already. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Check out our merch at shopoverlandapparel.com, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks, guys.